Some of the nearly 1 million people who have fled Russia's devastating war in Ukraine in recent days count among society's most vulnerable, unable to make the decision on their own to flee and requiring careful assistance to make the journey to safety. At the train station in the Hungarian town of Zahony on Wednesday, more than 200 Ukrainians with disabilities, residents of two care homes in Ukraine's capital of Kyiv, disembarked into the cold wind of the train platform after an arduous escape from the violence gripping Ukraine. The refugees, many of them children, have serious mental and physical disabilities, and were evacuated from their care facilities once the Russian assault on the capital intensified. It wasn't safe to stay there were rockets, they were shooting at Kyiv, said Larissa Leonidovna, the director of the Sviatoshinsky orphanage in Kyiv. We spent more than an hour underground during a bombing. Russia's intensifying attack on Ukraine has forced hundreds of thousands to leave the country in the last 6 days, in what one UN official predicted could become Europe's biggest refugee crisis this century. Refugee Agency says more than 874,000 people have fled Ukraine since Russia's invasion last week, and the figure is rising exponentially, putting it on track to cross the 1 million mark on Wednesday. More than half of the refugees, nearly 454,000, have gone to Poland, while more than 116,300 have entered Hungary, and over 79,300 have crossed into Moldova. Another 67,000 have fled to Slovakia, and some 69,000 have gone to other European countries. While many of those fleeing are able-bodied adults, choosing to brave long and sometimes dangerous journeys to bring themselves and their families to safety, others are at the mercy of their caregivers to deliver them out of danger. These children need a lot of attention, they have illnesses and require special care, said Leonidovna, the director of the Kyiv orphanage. Moving from the train in groups of 30, the children, also from the Darnitsky orphanage in Kyiv, were escorted to buses waiting to take them to Opole, Poland, where they would be settled and receive further care. There are 216 people altogether, the children along with their chaperones, said Victoria Mykolaievna, deputy director of the Darnitsky home. Chilly climate holding Eastern Europe on Wednesday made conditions considerably more enthusiastically for those escaping into nations adjoining Ukraine. At the line area of Palenka in southern Moldova, a country that imparts a long boundary to Ukraine, temperatures drifted around freezing and a new cover of snow made the progress. Moms with little youngsters came enclosed by covers and dress. However, the chilly climate has made an all-around frantic circumstance far more detestable. Julia, a 32-year-old mother with a 3-year-old youngster, attempted to quiet her child who was igniting with fever. She felt defenseless, she said, however is glad that she settled on the choice to help her loved ones. Thank God that I can protect my family, but I didn't want to leave my country. But I had to find another way to protect my family, she told the Associated Press. Braving snow and sub-freezing temperatures, thousands of refugees continued to flee Ukraine into neighboring Romania through the Siret border crossing. Alina Onica, a 41-year-old Red Cross volunteer in Siret, said that the freezing weather and snow are only adding to the challenges and needs of the refugees being displaced by war. It made it more difficult because many left their homes a couple of days ago, and all they had was the clothes on their backs, she said. They have been asking for gloves, hats, and blankets. It's a humanitarian crisis and we're hoping it will end soon. Nastia Kononchuk, who hopes to reach the Bulgarian capital of Sofia to wait out the war with her dog, said she is originally from the Black Sea city of Odessa but was living in Kyiv. Her husband drove her to the Romanian border, but then returned to join Ukraine's armed forces. It was a very long road and very scary, she said of the journey, when she heard the thud of missiles all around. You don't understand, is it ours or is it enemy? Maybe it's okay that now we don't have children, she added. But we have our dog, it is our child. Victoria Bybara, who left Kyiv 2 days ago with her 6-year-old son after witnessing escalating bombing in the capital, arrived in Romania on Wednesday and will travel to Istanbul to stay with friends, she said. It's so hard, it's hard for a child, we can't explain to him why we should leave our home, why we hear these bombs, the 29-year-old said. He is also very scared. I am also very scared. It's so cold and it was hard to stay with a child in the snow. Maria Unhurian, from Chernivtsi in western Ukraine, came by car to Siret with her 9-year-old daughter and other relatives, all women. I feel a lot of pain. Just pain. A lot of pain for my country and my people, she said. She's 9 years old and she does not understand the situation. She just wants to eat pizza in Italy and go to Disney in France.